Hey everybody, it's Ozone. Welcome back to my Sky Island once again. We start right here amongst all the mob cageriums that I set up in the last episode. Honestly, not too much time has passed since I recorded that last episode, but there has been some developments. First of all, I'm level 85. There's some new things that opened up at level 85, and so I want to explore those this episode. It feels like it's taken an eternity to get here. These levels are going just super slow, so I also want to try to do something to make that better. But first I need to talk about the drowns in the room here, or rather the drown in the cagerium here. In the last episode I complained about not getting copper from these drown, and, well, I am getting some copper. I think one of two things had happened. First of all, I think I just didn't wait long enough. As you can see, the drops for copper are quite a bit rarer than the drops for the rotten flesh, and so maybe I just didn't wait long enough. But like so many of the other things here, I was using a drawer underneath, and the drawer was locked, which I think also means that because I didn't have copper in the drawer, it wasn't actually putting copper in there at all. So I replaced it with a barrel, because I didn't know what I could get, and I wanted to see what I could get from the drown in the cagerium mob cage. But as you can see, it's really just rotten flesh and copper. I'm glad to have the copper, but I was really hoping for some nautilus shells or something else to go along with that. What I'm even more disappointed with here are the pillagers. They look mighty unhappy in there, and well, I am mighty unhappy with them because they drop absolutely nothing. That's right, they've been sitting there on that barrel for quite a long time and have put nothing at all into it, which just underscores and reinforces my point about cagerium not being in the JEI and not knowing what things are going to drop. I stuck 4 of these guys in here, thinking that I'd be getting emeralds or something like that out of there, but nope, it's nothing. Which means I need to make 4 skeleton keys to get those 4 spawn eggs out of there, and overall, that just wastes 4 mystery eggs. Well, I guess I can afford it at this stage in the game, but for somebody that's earlier in the game, this could be a real disappointment and a real struggle. These mob spawners are pretty expensive, and having one that's not doing anything, just sitting around with eggs stuck in there that you can't really afford to get out, well, that'd be a real big bummer, wouldn't it? Fortunately, I do have the spawn eggs for it, so let's make up some skeleton keys. Do they stack? Yeah, they do. 4 skeleton keys. And now 1, 2, 3, 4 pillager eggs and an empty cage. Yeah, that kind of hurt. Another thing I didn't really think about with putting this barrel here is that I have cut off all of these drawers from my drawer controller because they're no longer connected. See, I've got trim connecting up this row to this row underneath the platform here, and well, now with the barrel there, it's not connecting any of these things, and so they're not really showing up in my system at all. So now that I know what's being dropped by this... Oh my god. Oh my gosh, no! At least I had my magnet on. Oh my. Wow. Well, what I was gonna say is I can put the right drawer down there with only 2 containers and get the... Oh my... I'm just so messed up. I'm so flabbergasted! I guess it just goes to show, no matter how far along in the game you are, mistakes can still happen. Alright, let me fix this and I'll be right back. Alright, well, that could have been really bad if I hadn't had my magnet on, huh? That would have been a lot of resources just, whoop, get lost down into the void. Well, anyway, like I was going to say, terrariums and mob cages are only 2 of the things that are available in Cagerium, and I really just didn't get to the rest of it in the last episode. There are some boss spawn eggs that can't go into a normal mob Cagerium, namely the Wither, the Iron Golem, and the Elder Guardian. And for those, we need what they call a boss plate. It's exceedingly expensive to build, of course, because they're for bosses. But given that the Nether Star can show up as an item here in the altar, at least the Wither needs to be put into one. I don't have any Nether Stars, and well, if it wasn't a free crystal because of the lucky altar, well then, yeah, I'd be kind of stuck. My apologies, it's called the binding plate, not the boss plate. But, yeah, it takes a binding gemstone, which takes an Omega Pog. The rest of it's not bad. The Omega Pog, of course, is always expensive. Ooh, as well as 2 blocks of black chromatic steel. Yeah, can I do that? Not quite. All right, with a little bit extra crafting, I have made enough ahead of time for 2 binding plates, meaning we can put the Elder Guardian and the Wither on here. Given that I've got the Iron Factory with the Easy Villagers, I don't really feel the need to put an Iron Golem on there, although I imagine the output would be significantly better. I also don't really feel a strong need to put the Elder Guardian on there because I was able to put it into the ice spawner behind me and get quite a few sponges. I'm not even sure sponges are asked for by the Vault Altar. They probably are. But regardless, I've got 2 plates and I've got 2 boss mobs that we can put into it. So let's go with 1 Wither and 1 Elder Guardian. I don't know if you can actually put more than 1 spawn egg in the cage or on the plate. I kind of doubt it. I feel like no. And so for the time being, I think it makes sense to use barrels once again so that I can actually see what I'm getting from these guys. And let's hope that this is the right way to do it, that I'm not actually releasing the Wither. You know what? Let's start with the Elder Guardian. Yeah, good. And the Wither. Nice. I'm glad they don't make any extra noises, and I'm glad I don't get mining fatigue from the Elder Guardian. Now it's just a waiting game to see what they actually produce. Although I expect they're producing nether stars and sponges, sometimes you're just not sure, you know? The Elder Guardians also drop other Guardian stuff, so I guess we'll just go with a barrel until I can figure out what it is they actually drop. In the meantime, I've got an empty cage, and I guess an evoker is probably a good thing to put into it for those totems of undying. And again, I'm just going to leave it on the barrel for now so that I can actually see what I actually get. I don't really feel like I need the emeralds, but hopefully there's a few emeralds in there as well. Now in the meantime, I've been running a lot of vaults and I've been using Dylan here with the Loot Goblin, getting them leveled up so that I can put 2 relics on here. But I don't really know what relics I should be putting onto this one. I think I need a companion that gives me plentiful so that I can go for ores and stuff. But with this one being Loot Goblin, I really don't feel like this is the right companion to put Plentiful on. This one needs to be like Gilded and Ornates or something, or maybe Gilded and Living. Things that I care about the most, you know, when I want the extra item rarity and item quantity. Unfortunately, none of my other companions have been leveled up to the point where they have 2 relic slots available. So this is an ongoing problem I have. I've got more helpers than I have vaults that I can run. Which I guess is a good problem to have. But like I said, level 85 unlocks some new tools, and I want to look at those. Those are the echoing ranks. They require these echoing ingots. Okay, let's see what those cost. Yeah, kind of as I expected. 8 echo gems surrounding a black chromatic steel. Wow, I wonder what the next level is going to require, because this is already super expensive. As a matter of fact, I don't believe that I can even do it. No, you need 72 echo gems to make 1 tool, and I'm basically 2/3 of the way there, maybe? And one of my rules is whenever there's a bounty on the bounty table that offers echo gems, I take it. So yeah, we're kind of stuck. I can't get new tools because I don't have enough echo gems. And that's surprising and disappointing, I suppose. Well, I also think there's a new tier of gear. And I've got some gear in my pouch, so let's see if we can find something interesting. Maybe? Hopefully? I've got quite a few just normal, everyday pieces. I don't expect anything special from these. The best we got is a couple rare plus items. And like I said, gear at this stage is pretty boring. As a matter of fact, this gal's talked about a new thing in update 20 that'll automatically just smelt down any gear that's not legendary, because he's also seeing that gear at this level is pretty boring. Considering that 2 of my pieces are living and I haven't changed them out in a long time, these guys, it's going to take something pretty darn good in order to convince me to replace these. Especially because these both have percentage of increased ability power on them, and that's helping me out a lot. But let's see what we get. I'm not getting any new transmogs, that's for sure. Alright, we got a living magnet. We'll definitely keep that. I keep all the living, regardless. And I'm primarily after boots and helmets, which looks like I've just... Oh, no, that one might be good. The armor isn't any better. The ability power increase prefix isn't any better. Maybe it's not a new tier of gear, but having an Omega with 6 slots, I can probably make those better than my current gear, which only has 4. It's got a rather low armor roll too. So I think that's a keeper. And anything else? Doesn't honestly seem like it. Like I said, gear at this stage is not terribly exciting. Alright, after some re-rolls, I think I've got my boots in a good place. I'm losing a lot of armor. This is definitely a better base armor, but it doesn't have any plus armor that this one has. Getting a little bit more ability power on the increase, but also a little bit more ability power on the base, and it's giving me about the same of everything else. Some extra health is nice, because I am starting to use those sour lemons a little bit more. So I think I'm willing to trade the armor for the health. Basically, with the arcane build, I don't get hit very much. And so the lack of armor doesn't really bother me that much. I may decide differently as I get into a vault, but so far, yeah, that seems to be the general consensus. I just don't get hit a lot. Sigh. I did it again. I did a reclip and did a bunch of recording, and it wasn't actually recording. Well, what you missed was me getting 3 new artifacts on the wall. We got the dragon up there, the ghast over there with stress, and the group photo here in the lower corner as new artifact pieces. That was out of 5 completion crates, 4 of which were bingos, and yielding a total of 4 artifacts with 1 duplicate. So my strategy of focusing on bingos is definitely paying off. The artifact wall is making good progress overall, honestly. I just really wish I hadn't screwed up that clip and you guys could see it. As for this extra, it will have to join the other one in my system. Yeah, I got 2 artifact extras as well as an artifact fragment. If I burn these guys, they will yield an artifact fragment, and 4 artifact fragments can be put together to make a new artifact. So for right now, we'll just hold on to it. While I've been doing all that, these guys have had a chance to cook a little bit over here. Let's see what we get. So, our 1 evoker. Wow, that's a lot of totems. A few emeralds, which is good, but a lot of totems. I'm really kind of surprised at how many totems there are from this guy. All right, Wither, 5 nether stars. Very nice. That's probably as many as I might need for the entire playthrough, as rare as these things are on the altar. And for our Elder Guardian here, oh yeah, I am glad that I put it on a barrel. It's obviously giving a wide variety of things, but including sponges. Very nice. Now, just to beat the dead horse just a little bit more, if that had been in the JEI, I could have had appropriate drawers underneath them from the get-go. But I guess to get back to the task at hand, if I want to make a new sickle, which is the one thing that I really care about, because the extra capacity means I can get more mining speed and more item rarity and stuff, I need a lot more echo gems. So that means it's time to make a special crystal for echo gems, and I think that means it's time to get into inscriptions and catalysts and start making a loaded crystal. My thought process is pretty simple. I had a vault that had a mine room right off of the entrance, and I decimated the mine room, and I got about 50 to 60,000 experience, which honestly is my average. For any particular vault that I run, if I complete it, I get about 50 to 60,000 experience. And at this level, needing 500,000 experience, that means I need approximately 9 to 10 vaults in order to progress a level. While I don't have that much time in a week to run 9 or 10 vaults, I can run 10 in a week maybe if I spend all of my free time, but I don't have a lot of free time. And so I need to come up with ways to get more experience. So I think if I make a stacked crystal with a couple mine rooms and a couple plentifuls and things like that, I can get quite a bit of experience as well as quite a bit of ores, and maybe I can actually be able to make that sickle that I'm after. So let's take a look at what I can do in terms of crystalmancy. First of all, we need a regular old crystal. We can pop that guy right on in the workbench. Now, I really haven't done anything with any of my catalysts. And the ones up here are the ones that I think we're most concerned about. We've got a few plentifuls. as well as a couple accustomed. So the plentiful's will make for more ores within the mine room, and the accustoms will add even more experience. As far as my inscriptions here, I have some chromatic caves, some crystal caves, a lot of crystal caves, but those are rather dangerous, and some other paint rooms and stuff like that. These things are not really organized, but I don't have any inscriptions for mine rooms. So if I want 2 mine rooms, I need a lot of inscription pieces, which is probably no problem, and 8 echo gems. And the big question is, can I get 8 echoes out of a mine room if I use 8 echoes on an inscription? With extra plentifuls, I think that probably is pretty doable. I was originally going to go with 2 mine rooms, but I think for the first time round, I think I just need to go with a single mine room. Again, erring on the side of caution, trying not to overdo it and get myself overwhelmed. The last thing I want to do is spend a lot of resources making one of these mega crystals and then not even have the time to finish it. I think I could do 2 mine rooms within a normal vault time span, but I think it's just best to not risk it and only go with 1 at this point. So let's get 8 echoes and a stack of inscription pieces and 1 mine room inscription. You know, I kind of expected that to hurt a little bit, but it doesn't hurt at all, honestly. Let's get my 3 plentifuls and 2 accustomed and throw those all into the crystal and see where we're at in terms of capacity. I think we're basically there. I don't know that I could do another mine room. I have 18 capacity left. Well, I know I want to make this a brazier, but that doesn't change the capacity. So it looks like I can either go with another plentiful or another accustomed. Yeah, what the heck, let's go with another plentiful. Let's actually do 2 plentifuls. And I think there's one of these things in here that's pretty expensive, more expensive than the others. No, those are the accustoms that are more expensive. All right, well, let's put a plentiful on there, and I think we'll call that good. Well, that one kind of hurt a little bit. That was a lot of resources going into this crystal. I think it'll be worth it, but man, am I nervous about it. Well, next up, we have to pick a companion. Like I said, I don't have any with 2, but Papillon here has 1. This is Champion's Domain. Probably not going to utilize too awful much, but I don't think putting a plentiful with it is going to be contradicting at all. So let's grab them. And lastly, let's consider my trinkets. I've got the Elvis Air. I think falling is a big risk, but I certainly don't need the Lucky Goose. I don't really think that there are any that are going to help with mining. I guess chromatic powder durability? Oh, well, yes, a burger. That's what we need. And lastly, we have the deck itself. I do have some copiously in here, I think. No, I've just got mostly mining speed in here. And I don't really feel like taking this deck apart. I do have a couple other decks that I've picked up from completion crates, but I can go through my cards and try to load one of these up with a bunch of copiously percentages as well. Maybe even evolving copiously. I've got to go through what I have, and that's going to take some time, but I think it makes sense to truly try to maximize everything that I can when working on this special crystal. Alright, well, didn't get too awful much. I only had 5 cards that gave me copiously, one of which was evolving. Need some resource cards over here, so I just kind of filled up the deck with some regular, normal stuff. But still 2.5% extra copiously. Might as well, it's certainly not going to hurt. And you know what, this is slightly unrelated, but it's been a while since I've checked on my progress on the old Vault Compass. I really don't think that I've unlocked anything new, but let's give it a shot and see. So I unlocked the companion egg, but that doesn't actually do anything. Treasure doors. That could be helpful for sure. Exit dungeon doors and non-completed god altars. Well, these 2 are particularly valuable, honestly, but we've got a long way to go for challenge rooms and ore rooms and pillars. Yeah, I've been hitting every pillar I could find, and it's still just a long way to go. Oh well. Like I said, it'll probably be close to level 100 by the time I finally finish unlocking everything out of this compass, but I thought it would be interesting to see how the progress is going. And so all said and done, my copiously is only at 27.2%. Not so good, or at least not as good as I would like anyway. And what's my magnet? It offers no copiously. Well, that I think is something I can change. Hold on, let's do that real quick. All right, yeah, that's going to be better. Another 18% copiously just from the magnet, and it's living to boot. So it's not as great as it could be, but it's pretty darn good, you know? I'll take it. Well, I guess let's go and do this. I'm nervous. It's a lot of resources. All right, let's go. All right, very nice. The mine room is super duper close to the starting point here. Love it. Now, as far as the rest of the vault, I'm pretty much just going to grab the braziers and go. I'm going to grab the mine room and leave, and that's it. Let's see what we can get in the way of gems and experience, because that's what this is all about. My hope? Lots of experience and lots of gems. Let's go. You know what would be even better is if I could get a brazier that gives me copiously or plentiful or something like that along the way. I'm going to have to try to find that first, I think. Although I am scared of all the challenge stacks that are on here. We'll see. I really want a brazier that's like right here, easy, invisible. All right, well, the mobs aren't doing that bad. They don't seem to be too awfully difficult, honestly. There we go, richer ores. That's what I'm after. Yeah! Oh, and the mine room is already on my map. That's amazing too. I love it. Ethereal? Oh no, definitely not. Ethereal is the modifier that I hate the most. All right, well, I just grabbed pretty much the first braziers I could find in order to get it done. Now, on to the mine room. The good stuff. As far as modifiers, yeah, we got the 1 richer ores, but we also got like a couple more souls and then 1 item quantity, which none of which is really going to help out. Now, I always use water, just simply because it's an easy way to travel around. But it certainly does kind of make things a little harder. All right, and after my last mine room, I did go ahead and reposition my hammer. Everybody was telling me about how I need to reposition my hammer so that we're, you know, traveling along here and doing good. So let's... Oh, my mining speed is affected. It's not getting the gems. Oh no, I need more mining speed. That is a problem. What is my mining speed? 48.5. And apparently that's not enough to get these gems? Oh no. It's not doing anything. I've got to like specifically go back through and hit the ones. Oh, that's going to take a lot of time. I think the vault cobble is maybe get out of the way, dog. Good enough? No, the vault cobble is not good enough. Oh, this is going to take forever and really mess things up. Echo, I got to get that echo. Well, I am getting lots of copiously as I'm going around and doing this, but this is not good. Not good at all. But I'm doing lots of extra durability to my hammer by doing it this way too, I think. Okay, new strategy. Pick up everything. That's going to kill my magnet, but that's okay. And if I lay out a bunch of cobble, I think cobble has a higher hardness than everything else. Maybe then I can make a second pass and get all the stuff, all the gems. No, the gems are even harder than all the cobble. Well, okay. Well, the best laid plans. I guess this is why I only did 1 mine room instead of 2. So now I kind of know how I've messed it up. It is definitely going to have an impact on my overall experience, which is also what I'm wanting to get out of this, because I'm leaving so much. I don't want to leave any of the player gems though. And I guess I don't need to use my hammer to get all this other stuff, all the loose stuff. All right, well, this is my life now. We'll see how well or how poorly it worked when we're done. I think the strategy is to only go about 5 or 6 layers deep, even though my hammer can do more, just so that I can actually get the gems that are in the walls. It's going to take more time, and time is already feeling short. But I think that's going to be the better play here. Running out of time. I'm maybe 2/3 of the way through it, and yeah. Working on lemons already. Oh, well, I think I'm down at the bottom level. It's just time to go. Rather frustrating and disappointing. And honestly, I really haven't seen a lot of echoes around here either. Well, as we race to the end, the question is, was it worth it? Let's find out. 171,000! Okay! I like that! That was good! That's the kind of progress that I need. Now, gem-wise, 3 echoes. I think I only had 1 echo ore in there, so, I'm net down echoes. But overall, I've got a lot of gems, and I got a lot of experience. It popped me to level 86. So, lesson learned here. Looks like I need to focus more on a new hammer with more mining speed and copiously. I really don't know where my mining speed went. Oh, my magnet. I had a fair amount of mining speed on my magnet, and I think that makes the difference. I'll have to try to pop onto the Discord and see if I can figure out what mining speed you actually need in order to be able to break the ores along with everything else. I don't think I was too far off, but clearly not enough. But still, as an experiment, it worked. I got lots of gems. I didn't get enough echoes for sure, but it was also an easy way to get a lot of experience. Well, I think I want to try that again, and I've been able to make some changes that I think are going to make a big difference. First, I realized that my Vaulterite Shatterer here, was Vaulterite, which means I could be using Black Chromatic and have an extra 50 capacity. So I set out making a new one, and you know what? I've been really lucky with these legendary copiouslies. I think this is going to work so much better. At 56 mining speed, I understand that should be enough. The Discord says you need 52 mining speed from jewels, assuming you have your haste and everything else all maxed out. And comparing to my other hammer here, we were only at 36.8. But look at the big difference in copiously, 73% copiously versus 24% copiously. I stuck with the same hammer size. That probably is a mistake. If I'm going to really do this, I think I need to focus on making an even larger hammer and just really tear through that vault even quicker. The other thing I changed was the magnet that I was using as well. It did not have any mining speed on it. It had additional pull speed, which wasn't very useful. So I re-rolled it a bunch of times and also got some additional mining speed. So I think when it comes to this hammer, I can give up 12 mining speed and still be just fine. But I don't really want to go through that again. It was pretty painful. So I'm just going to leave it more or less as is. I am going to put bigger hammer on there, so I'm going to have to get rid of some stuff. But I like the changes. All right, well, I did add a little bit more to the hammer size. I had to give up some copiously, about 10%, sadly. But I do think the bigger hammer size is going to be better. I really strongly considered going for a full-size +7 hammer. But it would have required giving up another 10% copiously, and I really didn't want to do that. And I really didn't want to take the chance with the mining speed either. So, that's all my best jewels. I think it's going to make a big difference, though. And I went ahead and crafted up the same catalysts. We got 2 accustomed and 3 plentifuls with the same inscription to try again and try to have like an apples to apples comparison. But maybe this one will go better. It better go better. And it took long enough that Companion here is ready to go. Oh, although it's not going to be an apples to apples because I'm not going to waste this opportunity. They unlocked another relic slot. So if we're going to do it, we're going to do it right. Let's add another plentiful to our Companion here. And I guess if we're going to do it, let's do it right by going into another level of Fortunate. This was something else that I noticed as I was trying to craft up my tool, thinking that there might be something I could do with expertise points in order to make my tool better. But I did notice that I don't have a level of Fortune, so I guess no, that's just going to affect the outcome. That's not going to affect the overall experience. It's just going to affect the amount of ores that I can get afterwards. So that part won't exactly be an apples to apples, but oh well. We've already ruined it by giving our companion here another relic anyway. Alright, well, let's try it again. This one better go better. And before I get going too much further... Oh, it's directly behind the room. That's disappointing. Okay, I need to adjust the point for my hammer. Boom, there we go. So look at how big that thing is. Let me just try it out here. Yep, that's fun. Alright, well, the mine room is directly behind us. We got some rooms to go through. Let's try to pick up some braziers on the way. And again, I'm not going to be super picky about the braziers. It'd be great if we could get something that gave us better ores, but I'm not going to fuss about it. Alright, well, I'm not having a lot of luck, and I don't want to spend more time with it right now. So, gonna block all these guys off and get to work. Let's go. Alright, this is working beautifully. Yes, we're getting all the ores. Got enough mining speed on there. Very good. Echo! Yay, we need that echo. Yeah, this is going a lot better than the last one did. For sure. Whoosh. It's a wonderful thing. It's a beautiful sight. This time it's going so much faster. Gee, I wonder why. Okay, well, I think that's this room pretty well completely decimated. Alright, well, that was fun. Let's see if it was as fruitful as I hope it is. Because that was so good. Oh, yeah! 340,000? Wow! I have a new favorite pastime. Alright, great. Anything? Oh, yes! There's some echo in there. Yeah, that's echo, and there's an artifact. But before I pick up that echo, I need to figure out, what did I get? Oh, I thought that was 66 xenium, but 40 echo? Oh, wow. Look at all those bennies. I probably won't ever need bennies, but 40 echoes. Totally, 100%, absolutely worth it. And the artifact is a duplicate. It's this corner one right here. Well, I guess I can't complain too much. I'll worry about making up another artifact later on. 41 echo should keep me pretty well satisfied on making these mine inscriptions. I've got lots of inscription pieces, although it does take a bunch, and so it seems like that's the routine, right? You make some living, some mushroom, and you do those, and you get all the inscription pieces and the dreamstone and all that stuff, but I've got a good supply right now. I think I will be set to be running a whole bunch of these, and it ought to really, really help getting to level 100. I was not looking forward to that grind at only like 60,000 XP for a vault. Wow. Well, now that was a lot of fun, wasn't it? And with 75 echo, I can now make a new echoing tool. But I don't know that I need to. That would only leave me 3, and I'm not ready to do that just yet. As a matter of fact, I've already made up another inscription and another set of catalysts to do that all again. But that's not something we can do in this episode. Unfortunately, we have run out of time, and wow, it was a fun episode. I don't think I've had fun like that for quite a while. And I hope you did too. If so, please give the video a like. I feel like this is probably the meta, and everybody that's been at this stage of the game knows exactly what I'm going through and has done exactly the same thing. But this is new for me, and quite honestly, it's a lot of fun. So what does that leave for the next episode? Quite honestly, at this point, I'm not sure. Leave a comment if you want to tell me what you think is the next step. I think I'm definitely headed to a library room with a lot of extra gilded and a lot of extra rarity, trying to get that treasure goggle trinket that I've been wanting for so long. But that's something I can do maybe on a stream. I haven't done a whole lot of streams lately, been a little busy, but I am going to try to do some more during this Thanksgiving week and on into Christmas time. Only time will tell about whether I'm able to do it. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed coming on this journey with me, and if you did, like I said, leave the video a like, that really helps. So we'll catch you next week, and until then, remember, be excellent to each other. I'm out.